Hello everyone, welcome back to IAS Academy. This is topic of the day. Today we'll discuss about pride of India, that is ISRO. Recently ISRO conducted a mission which was successful, that is integrated airdrop test for Gaganyaan mission. We'll discuss what is this Gaganyaan mission, we'll discuss what is this IADT or integrated airdrop defense system. Okay, so ISRO successfully carried out integrated airdrop defense system, integrated airdrop test 1, a crucial step in validating a parachute-based deceleration system of Gaganyaan crew model. A 4.8 to 510 dummy crew capsule was dropped from a helicopter at 3 km altitude, testing parachute deployment and safe splashdown. We'll discuss what is it. So what is IADT? It simulates final phase of spacecraft return by dropping it from aircraft or helicopter. What are the tests here? One is parachute deployment sequence, that is, and capsule orientation and stability, and then safety during abort or splashdown scenarios. It is simple like this. Okay, what happens in spacecraft mission is, so if this is the Earth, so spacecraft will be a rocket or space shuttle will be sent to the space. Once it is sent to the space, it detaches, and then the space crew will roam around the space for some period of time, and then after a period of time, then the test is done, they will be coming back. When they come back after a certain period of time, they will start falling freely. Okay, they will start falling freely. When they start falling freely, then there is a need for them to decelerate the speed, because they will be falling at 9.8 meter per second, because this is the gravity of Earth combined to this, the weight of this particular capsule. Okay, when the capsule is coming down at so much of high speed, there are many chances that it is going to splash down and break up. So what they do is, in order to decelerate the speed, they will act or bring another alternative force. That alternative force is, it will go like this. Okay, in a capsule there will be alternative force, and it will also be supported by parachutes. Here there will be two parachutes which will reduce the speed. So this test is to check this particular thing. When the crew capsule goes up and the capsule searches for all the, so whatever the days they have to stay in the space, once the stay is done there, they will come back to the Earth and the capsule will be bring back to Earth. But if it falls at a larger, like faster speed or the higher velocity, it is going to break down. So in order to reduce this higher velocity, there will be integrated airdrop system or test. This will reduce, open up a parachute, and there will be alternating expulsion system which will open up against the speed, it will reduce the speed, and then they will fall down in a particular river. In example, not river, ocean. In Gaganyaan, the most appropriate site according to Gaganyaan mission is Bay of Bengal. Okay, this is what IADT is. First is parachute will open up, and then capsule orientation, that is how you want to change it, the orientation, the stability, and third is safety during the abort or splashdown scenario when they come down to the Earth. So limitation: cannot replicate real re-entry conditions. Speed, heat, altitude has to be taken into consideration, but which cannot be done because we are only doing the dummy stage. Then purpose of IADT is validate parachute deceleration system, that is 10 parachutes used in sequences. Ensure safe reduction of the speed from 150 meter per second. Okay, 9.8 meter per second is the gravity. Along with this, if you add the weight of this capsule, it will come around to 150 meter per second to 8 meter per second before the splashdown. It confirms avionics autonomy in triggering safety mechanisms. So execution, first initially they have done a dummy capsule which is a 4.8 ton dropped from Chinook helicopter at 3 kilometers. So they took it up to 3 kilometers, Chinook helicopter, which is borrowed from, which is procured from USA. Next, onboard system triggered to drag main parachutes, and then the splashdown at 8 meter per second was successful, which is the required amount of speed in order to make sure that it doesn't break up or break down. Simulated a launch pad abort scenario, verified orientation control and recovery phase as well. So successful mission. So where does it fit in Gaganyaan roadmap? So Gaganyaan mission initially was said to be completed by 2025, but now it has been pushed to 2027 because there are so many missions or there are so many sub-missions or tests to be conducted, so that the Gaganyaan mission is successful, so that the Vyomanauts or the astronauts of India go up to the space, revolve around the space, and then come back to Earth. There are so many tests to be conducted. So first was the TVD-1, that is test vehicle abort test, which was conducted in October 2023, which validated crew escape system, how the crew can escape, and then IADT, this is conducted in August 2025, validated parachute splash down recovery, and then there is TVD-2 abort test, which will be done in third quarter of 2025. More complex abort scenario. If the first one is not possible, second will be done. And then Gaganyaan Mission uncrewed. Initially, they will do the uncrew in 2025, a simulation or rehearsal where there will be no crew. They will send a capsule and they will do all the tests again. And finally, targeted at 2027 is the first crewed mission to space. Current Gaganyaan mission status. Hardware readiness, that is crew and service modules built, propulsion tested, and LMV human rated. That is what is LVM? That is Launch Vehicle Module 3, or initially called as Mark 3. GSLV Mark 3 has been changed to Launch Vehicle Module 3 for this particular mission. Normally, this GSLV are used for sending satellites into GSLV station, GSLV orbit, which is around 36,500 kilometers up. And whenever you want to send a person or send satellites in the lower Earth orbit, that is around 300 to 600 kilometers, you use polar vehicles, PSLV, that is polar satellite launch vehicles. But this PSLV is lower in capacity. As a result, it is not feasible to do the human crew test. So they are changing it to GSLV Mark 3 or Launch Vehicle Module 3. Facilities ready at the moment are Gaganyaan Control Center, Crew Training Center, Orbital Prep Facility, and launch pad upgrades. Then recovery systems are splashdown retrieval plan finalized, and then life support, prototype environment control, and life support system built. So it is almost ready. The only thing is conducting the rest of the test and then finishing up. So long-term human spaceflight goals is by 2027 crewed space mission or Gaganyaan, and after this is ambitious space station of our own India, that is Bharatiya Antariksha Station, India's very own space station. Currently there is International Space Station, okay, ISRO Inter Space Station, and there is also one more as Tiangong, which is a space station of Chinese. They have their own space station. Next, by 2040, Indian crewed lunar landing, so which is again ambitious. They want to send people to moon. Next, support and tech, in orbit docking demonstrated by SPARDEX mission. Then is advanced propulsion and life support and long duration orbital stays. So all these things have been developed. Now we have to wait and see. We have to do the countdown. So here is where the crew will be seated. This part of the rocket, this part of the LMV3 is where the crew will be seated, and once they will go the high escape motor, and then they will have CES jettison motor, and then low altitude escape motor. These are all the different types of motor, and this is where the crew will be present. Crew model demonstration model, and then service model demonstration model, and this is integrated main parachute system. That is what they conducted. They have tested 2 parachutes, and they have made sure that it is landing at a speed which will not result in breakdown of this capsule. So what is the analysis and implications? Strategic is it puts India in allied group, which is acquired by only other 3 countries, that is USA, Russia, and China, with human spaceflight capability. Boost India's space diplomacy and leadership in global south. And the economic and scientific is catalyzes aerospace research and development, robotics, AI, and material science, and also other related deep technologies. Next, generates spin-offs for defense and commercial aviation as well. Then challenges are delays, that is IADT slipped from April 2024 to August 2025, almost 1.5 year delay. Next, high cost plus need for sustained political will is also not required here. And then must balance Atmanirbhar tech with the global partnerships. Okay, so very significant test has been conducted by ISRO. Way forward is complete test vehicle or about test 2 as soon as possible, and G1 uncrewed mission as soon as possible, and expand international collaboration between NASA, ESA, JAXA, that is Japanese, and ESA is European Union, and then accelerate ECLSS and life support systems testing, and developing commercial ecosystem for space hardware, and also ensure budgetary stability for 2035 and 2040 goals. So there is no delays anymore. So very important test which is going to be significant for India's space aspirations as well as defense aspirations. So with this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.